Hi, everybody. You're listening to an episode of Thorne in Your Side. And I'm your host, Thorne. This is the podcast where I talk about information and opinions, both popular and unpopular, related to random topics, both serious and non-serious. And you might as well listen because it needs to be said. Besides, you already pressed the play button. So grab a nice drink, stay right there, and prepare to be entertained and informed. Like it or not, reality shows are here to stay. There's so many of them. And while some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. No offense to people who purposely watch trash reality shows, but why? It just seems like most reality shows are either really cringy, really fake, or heavily scripted. Sometimes all the above. I admit that some reality shows are pretty cool or funny or worth watching, but other reality shows just seem to be a potent way to burn your brain cells. Nasty personalities, lots of profanity, people who clearly hate each other, and don't forget the crazy situations that would never occur unless a camera crew just happened to be nearby. Yeah, it's a mess. Anyway, I recently found out that a certain reality show was currently airing its second season. At first, I thought it was a very late April Fool's joke. But unfortunately, it wasn't. I saw the preview, and let's just say, ill. Not surprisingly, it's another show on TLC, and no, not the girl group. I have to keep saying that to avoid confusion. And it's just as terrible as some of the other reality shows in that channel. So to all the fans of that You, Me, and My Ex show out there, as well as TLC, the channel, I don't mean to be a...
Stop right there! I knew it! I knew you were going to talk about that show. I just knew it. Why can't you just leave the...
Hold up, homie. First of all, how dare you interrupt my intro? Second, why'd you come back here? I'm not talking about 90 Day Fiancé, and I know you're a huge fanboy of that show. Third, my door was locked. So, how'd you get in here?
I have my methods. Anyway, I knew you were going to do an episode about that You, Me, and My Ex show the moment you found out it was getting a second season. So I waited. I waited until the right moment so I could tell you to just stop it. It's a great show
Back all the way up. What do you mean you waited until the right moment? That must mean... Wait. It was you, wasn't it? The person who was stalking me the last several days. You've been sneaking and lurking outside my house at night, weren't you? And making those creepy, yet almost hilarious noises, too. Answer me.
Guilty as charged. I'm very good at being sneaky and stalking people, and I love trashy reality shows. This show may not be as wonderful as 90 Day Fiancé, but it's still a great show. Why can't you understand that? This You, Me, and My Ex show is so trashy, filthy, and oh, so cringy.
Excuse me.
It makes me laugh.
Excuse me. That's cool and everything, but you're talking too much. So sit down and be quiet. I'll deal with you later. And don't make me get crunk in here. I'm a 90s kid. Back to what I was saying. To all the fans of that You, Me, and My Ex show, as well as the channel that shows it, which is TLC, and once again, not the girl group. I don't mean to be a thorn in your side, but that show just needs to just go away. Seriously, that show has no purpose besides cringe, so it just needs to end already. As the name implies, You, Me, and My Ex is one of those reality shows that follow around people in a relationship. Boyfriends and girlfriends, husbands and wives, and other combinations. Unfortunately, one of the people in each couple has a lingering ex-partner who hangs around much more than they should, which aggravates the person's current partner. That's basically it. I feel like I already talked about this show in one of my previous episodes, but whatever. As with most reality shows, just like it, there'll be a lot of drama, arguing, fighting, and the occasional mushy moment. Of course, there'll be lots of cringe. I thought the couples in the first season were bad, but the couples in the second season are even worse. Not surprisingly, some of the couples from the first season returned for the second season, and they didn't get better. Things got worse for their relationship, and that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I swear, the amount of scripted or controlled events in this show is just hilarious. I don't see how people can watch these shows without going crazy or getting a head or losing their...
There's nothing wrong with watching reality shows like that. It's funny and entertaining. I don't care if it's scripted as long as it's funny. And I don't care how trash it is as long as it makes me laugh. First you talked about 90 Day Fiancé, and now it's You, Me, and My Ex. Both shows are fantastic, so stop being such a hater. Gosh, oh my goodness, just gag me with a spoon. Like totally.
I'm not hating on anything. I'm just giving my educated opinion on a reality show, and that show is definitely bad for the brain cells. Also, it's my podcast, so obviously I'm going to give my opinion on whatever I want in a way that's both humorous and informative. If you don't like that, then the door is right there. Then again, I should call the police since you're technically trespassing. But I'm in a good mood today.
Oh, please, though. I couldn't survive one night in jail. I don't want to go there again. So please show some mercy. I'll behave. I promise. I promise with a cherry on top. I'm way too delicate and fashionable to be there. Just the thought of having to eat that jail food or wearing those awful clothes again makes me...
Calm down. I won't call the police. And remember that I'm not trying to be a thorn in your side. But shows like You, Me, and My Ex are just dumb. There's nothing to learn from shows like that except what not to do in a relationship. In this case, it's basic common sense to not have your ex-partner hanging around when you've already moved on to another relationship. It's both disrespectful and unfair to your current partner. Obviously, this is my opinion, and it might sting some people, but it's actually fine to stay friends with your ex. Whether it's your ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, or ex-whatever, it's completely fine to stay on good terms with them after the breakup. There are plenty of people who still spend time with their ex because they're still friends and or co-parenting their kids. That's fine. Not everyone has a crazy, dramatic, or sometimes violent breakup that ends with a restraining order. Instead, some people will realize that being in a relationship is more responsibility than just being friends, and will mutually agree to break up, which means they'll go back to being friends. Once again, that's fine. The thing is, if one of them decides to get a new partner, then the ex needs to make himself or herself scarce. That makes sense, right? It's usually weird having a third wheel around, especially if that third wheel is from a previous relationship. I could understand if your current partner is okay with your ex-partner hanging around and they're actually good friends, but there's a high chance that ain't true. This show gives a good visual aid as to what happens when you disregard your current partner's feelings in order to keep your ex-partner relevant in your life. Of course, since it's a reality show, it's boosted to exaggerate cringy proportions. TLC, the channel, not the girl group, seem to love having meddling ex-partners in the reality shows. Not to go too off topic, but it's a very common occurrence in the 90 Day Fiancé series. How many times does the American person invite their ex-partner around for whatever reason? It happens too often. The person's current partner is clearly annoyed by his ex-partner's presence, so why was the ex-partner invited in the first place? I won't say her name, but if you are married to a loving husband and you both have a kid together, and your husband makes it obvious that he doesn't like or even trust your ex-husband, then why do you keep inviting your ex-husband around? What the heck is wrong with you?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. That woman is just cray-cray. Her husband is just really cool and awesome, but she's just awful. I love the 90 Day Fiancé series. I seriously do. I really, really do. But I can't stand that woman one bit. She's one of the few people I don't want to see because she puts her husband through so much nonsense. Yet it's obvious that her husband is too good for her. That husband just needs to...
Don't get too worked up over that, all right? Besides, it's not the main point. Then again, my final point is that if you possibly believe that shows like You, Me, and My Ex are innocent fun and TLC, for the last time, the channel, not the girl group, should keep cranking out more shows like that, then that's nasty. Shows like this just seem like brainless cringe that's too ridiculous to be real. There's no way that all the people on the show are actual couples. There might be one couple that's legit, but no one should ever have their ex-partner hanging around if their current partner is uncomfortable with that. It's absolutely absurd. Shows like this should not be getting more seasons, especially since it will encourage people to make a fool of themselves for the sake of being on television. I miss the days when reality shows were actually believable. Nowadays, they just seem too fake or scripted. Yes, I know they're just here for entertainment, but don't tell me it's a reality show if it's not a reality show. If the show is scripted, then own up to it. Besides, everyone knows that scripted series, such as sitcoms and cartoons, are superior to reality shows. But I digress. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of thorn in your side. And now I'm your host, C. Thorne. Feel free to follow, subscribe, tweet, comment, share, post, react, and all those other verbs. And there'll be another mouth-watering episode next week. And remember, be smart and stay sharp.